Today, let's crochet this beautiful granny handbag. The materials we'll need are
1 leather bag base, 2 yarn balls, 2 handles, 2 crochet hooks, 3.0 millimeters and 4.5 millimeters, markers, a sewing needle, and a silk scarf.
Let's take out the yarn and the base. For the first round, we'll crochet 46 single crochet stitches, but this base has 44 holes, so we need to add 2 stitches. We will place the increases at 2 corresponding rivets. Mark the hole corresponding to the rivet with a marker. We will increase a stitch in the marked position and another in the corresponding hole on the opposite side. That's it for the 2 increases. Now, let's start crocheting. Take out the yarn. You must master the correct wrapping method. Now take the base with the rivets facing your body. Take the 4.0 millimeters crochet hook and insert it into the center hole on one side of the base. Insert the hook into the hole, yarn over, and pull through. Yarn over again and pull through the loop. This is a chain stitch, which does not count in the stitch count. Next, insert the hook into the same hole, and this time, we'll make a single crochet stitch. After completing this single crochet, you will see a V shape on the side. That is the first single crochet stitch. Place a marker on the first single crochet stitch. Now continue crocheting. Insert the hook into the second hole, and we will keep the yarn tail above the hook to hide it. Yarn over and pull through the hole. Now there are 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again and pull through both loops. This is the second single crochet stitch. Continue crocheting single crochets in each hole without a marker. When you reach the marked hole, remove the marker and work 2 single crochet stitches in this hole. Because we are working 2 single crochet stitches in the same hole, it's called an increase. Insert the hook into the hole where the marker is placed and work a single crochet stitch. Next, insert the hook into the same hole again and work another single crochet stitch. Once we finish this hole, continue crocheting. Work 1 single crochet stitch in each hole without a marker and work an increase, 2 single crochet stitches in the marked hole. For the next few stitches, keep the yarn tail on top of the hook. This will hide the yarn tail. Once the yarn tail is hidden for a sufficient length, you can cut off the excess yarn. Continue crocheting. Now we have reached the second marker. Remove the marker and work 2 single crochet stitches in this hole. After finishing the increase, continue crocheting. Since this yarn is flat, make sure to keep it smooth as you crochet. This will ensure that your work looks nice and flat. We have now completed the last stitch of the first round. Place a marker in the last stitch.
Pull up a long loop and switch to the 4.5 millimeters hook.
Next, we need to contact the first with last stitch. We will use a slip stitch for this. Remove the marker from the first stitch and insert the hook into the V-shape. Yarn over and pull through the V-shape. Then pull the second loop through the first loop on the hook. This is the slip stitch join. The slip stitch will also form a V-shape. To avoid accidentally counting this as a stitch, we need to tighten the loop. Now let's start crochet the second round. For the second round, work one single crochet stitch in each V-shape for a total of 46 stitches. Before we start crocheting, we need to work a chain stitch. The starting chain does not count as a stitch. Tighten the loop. Now, let us start crocheting. Insert the hook into the first V-shape and work a single crochet stitch. After completing the first single crochet stitch, place a marker in the V-shape. Next, let us crochet the second stitch. Insert the hook under the V-shape and work a single crochet stitch. Do the same for the next stitch in the V-shape. This round has a total of 46 V-shapes, so we'll work 46 single crochet stitches. You can complete the rest on your own. Now we have reached the last stitch of the second round. First, remove the marker. Insert the hook under the last V-shape and work a single crochet stitch. Now, place the marker back. After completing the second round, we have 46 single crochet stitches. Remember to count the stitches. Start counting from the first marker. Each V-shape represents one stitch. Count all V-shape to the last marker. There should be 46 stitches here. After completing each round, remember to count the stitches. Now let's join the first and last stitches. Remove the marker from the first stitch. Insert the hook into this spot. Yarn over and pull through. Pull the second loop through the first loop. Tighten the loop. This is a slip stitch join. Because the slip stitch does not count as a stitch, we need to tighten the loop. Finally, work a chain stitch. Yarn over with the hook and pull through the loop. Let's tighten it again. Next, the pattern for the third round is still 46 single crochet stitches. Insert the hook under each V-shape and work a single crochet stitch. After completing the first single crochet stitch, you must add a marker. The following crochet methods are the same. You can complete the rest on your own. Next, we need to join the first stitch and the last stitch. Remove the marker from the first stitch. Then insert the hook into the spot. Yarn over and pull through. Continue to yarn over and bring the second loop through the first loop on the hook. You can tighten the loop. Finally, work a chain stitch. Next, begin crocheting the fourth round. This round begins the flower pattern section. Insert the hook under the first V-shape and work a single crochet stitch. Be sure to add a marker at the position of the first stitch. Then, insert the hook under the second V-shape and work another single crochet stitch. Next, we still work single crochet stitches, but the insertion positions have changed. Insert a sewing needle under the first stitch. Insert the hook at this position. Yarn over and pull through. There should be 2 loops on the hook. Locate the position of the second single crochet stitch. Count down 2 stitches from this position. Insert the hook into this spot and yarn over. There should be 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through all 3 loops on the hook. This forms a flower pattern. We can see there are 3 V-shapes on top. Next, we start crocheting the second flower pattern. The method is the same. First, insert the hook under the V-shape and work 2 single crochet stitches. Insert the hook under the stitch of the first single crochet. Yarn over and pull through. At this time, there are 2 loops on the hook. We can see the yarn coming through is not very neat. We can redo it. Arrange the yarn neatly. Keep the yarn flat. Next, find the position of the stitch for the second single crochet. Count down 2 stitches. Insert the hook into the spot. Yarn over and pull through. At this time, there are 3 loops on the hook. Continue to yarn over and bring out 3 loops. The second flower pattern is now complete. Next, work the third flower pattern. First, insert the hook under the V-shape and work 2 single crochet stitches. Insert the hook under the stitch of the first single crochet. Yarn over and pull through. There should be 2 loops on the hook. Next, find the position of the stitch for the second single crochet. Count down 2 stitches and insert the hook into this spot. Yarn over and pull through. At this time, there are 3 loops on the hook. Continue to yarn over and bring out 3 loops. The third flower pattern is now complete. The flower pattern methods for this round are all the same. A total of 23 flower patterns need to be crocheted. You can complete the rest on your own. After finishing this round, we can count the vertical lines. There are 23 lines, which correspond to 23 flower patterns. We must remember to add a marker at the position of the last stitch. Next, we join the first stitch and the last stitch. First, Remove the marker from the first stitch. Then, insert the hook into the spot. Yarn over and pull through. Continue to yarn over and bring the second loop through the first loop on the hook. Next, work a chain stitch. Next, work the fifth round. First, we need to skip the first V-shape. Insert the hook under the second V-shape and work a single crochet stitch. Next, insert the hook under the third V-shape and work a single crochet stitch. You need to add a marker on the first single crochet stitch. Next, insert the hook under the stitch of the first single crochet. Yarn over and pull through. At this time, there are 2 loops on the hook. Now, the hook's insertion position changes. Insert the hook into the stitch below the diagonal line. Yarn over and pull through. At this time, there are 3 loops on the hook.
Everyone, please pay attention here. After pulling the yarn over, it just covers one V shape, which is the first stitch of the second flower pattern. We do not need to crochet this V shape. Each flower pattern needs to start crocheting from the second V shape.
Next, insert the hook under the V shape of the second and third stitches to work a single crochet stitch. After completing the 2 single crochet stitches, insert the hook under the stitch of the first single crochet. Yarn over and pull through. Next, insert the hook into the stitch below the diagonal line. Insert the hook into this position, yarn over and pull through. At this time, there are 3 loops on the hook. Continue to yarn over and bring out 3 loops. The second flower pattern is complete. The crochet method for the flower patterns is all the same, because the first V-shape is already covered by the yarn. Insert the hook under the second and third V-shapes to work single crochet stitch. Insert the hook under the stitch of the first single crochet. Yarn over and pull through. There should be 2 loops on the hook. Next, insert the hook into the stitch below the diagonal line. Insert the hook into this position, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull the yarn through all 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull the yarn through all 3 loops on the hook. The method for each flower pattern is the same. There are a total of 23 flower patterns in this round. You can complete the remaining ones on your own. Crocheting the last flower of the 5th round. Start by making 2 single crochet stitches as before. Remove the marker from the last stitch. After completing the 2 single crochet stitches, insert the hook under the stitch of the first single crochet. Yarn over and pull through. Next, insert the hook under the stitch below the second diagonal line. Yarn over and pull through. There should be 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull the yarn through all 3 loops on the hook. The last group of the flower pattern is completed. Remember to add a marker at the position of the last stitch. Next, join the first stitch and the last stitch. Remove the marker from the first stitch. Make a slip stitch. Finally, make a chain stitch. Next, work the 6th round. The method for the 6th round is the same as that for the 5th round. Similarly, do not work into the first V shape. Start crocheting from the second V shape. After completing the first single crochet stitch, add a marker. This is the stitch of the first single crochet. In this round, when looking for the diagonal lines, we will notice there are 2 diagonal lines. Insert the hook under the stitch below the first diagonal line. We can see that it is the stitch next to the second diagonal line. The crochet method for the flower pattern is the same as the previous round. When locating the diagonal line, we need to find the uppermost diagonal line to identify the correct insertion point. Be sure to look for the diagonal lines from the left side of the piece. This will help you find the correct insertion point. Next, I will demonstrate the method for crocheting a set of flower patterns. First, work 2 single crochets. Then, insert the hook under the stitch of the first single crochet, yarn over and pull through. Next, locate the first diagonal line on the left side of the current stitch and insert the hook under the stitch below the first diagonal line, yarn over and pull through. Finally, yarn over one last time and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. This round also has 23 flower patterns. For the remaining parts, you can crochet them on your own. After completing the last flower of the 6th round, remember to add a marker at the position of the last stitch. After crocheting each round, count the number of stitches or flower patterns to avoid mistakes. Next, join the first stitch and the last stitch by making a slip stitch. Finally, make a chain stitch to begin the 7th round. The crochet method for the 7th round is identical to that of the 6th round. I will demonstrate a set. Note that after completing the first single crochet, you need to add a marker. Be sure to look for the diagonal lines from the left side of the piece. This will help you find the correct insertion point. The first flower pattern is complete. This round also has 23 flower patterns. A total of 19 rounds of this flower pattern need to be crocheted. You can complete the rest on your own. Now, how to change the yarn when halfway through crocheting the bag. I will now demonstrate to you. Insert the hook under the V shape, yarn over and pull through. At this point, there are 2 loops on the hook, so you can proceed to change the yarn. Pinch the tail yarn with your index finger. Place the new working yarn on the hook and pull through 2 loops. This completes the yarn change. After changing the yarn, we need to hide the tail end. When crocheting, place the tail end over the hook. Then yarn over and pull through so the yarn can be hidden within the piece. We can repeat this process several times to completely hide the tail end. This is what the finished flower pattern looks like. We can count the diagonal lines on the bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Crochet a total of 21 rounds of flower patterns according to the video. Now, we will start the last round. In this round, we will install the handle. Next, we will join the first stitch and the last stitch by making a slip stitch. After making a chain stitch, we will begin crocheting the last round. Insert the hook into the second V shape to work a single crochet and continue to make a total of 10 single crochets. After completing the first single crochet stitch, remember to add a marker. Insert the hook under the next V shape to continue working single crochets. After finishing the 10 single crochets, remove the hook from the loop. Insert the hook under the next V shape, yarn over, and pull through, enlarging the loop. Place the handle over the loop, then insert the hook into the center of the next loop. Yarn over and pull through both loops. This is the first stitch. A total of 13 stitches need to be made on the handle. Insert the hook into the next V shape and make a single crochet stitch. Continue crocheting the remaining stitches in the same way. Here, I need to tell you that when counting the stitches on the handle, you do not count the V shapes on top. You count the stitch insertion points below. Pull the loop of the last stitch on the handle long and stand the handle up. Insert the hook under the next V-shape and place the loop back onto the hook. Then pull the loop through. Continue yarn over and pull through this loop. This is not a single crochet stitch, but we still count it as one stitch. Next, we need to do 20 single crochet stitches. After finishing the 21 single crochet stitches, you can attach the second handle. The method is the same as the first one. You can finish this step on your own. After attaching the handle, crochet 11 more single crochet stitches. Once you finish the 11 single crochets, pull the loop long, then cut the yarn. Thread the yarn tail through a sewing needle. Insert the sewing needle where the marker was and pull the yarn through. Then, insert the sewing needle into the center of the last V-shape and pull the yarn through along with the lower thread. You will see a new V-shape has formed. This is a traceless join. Finally, hide the excess yarn inside the bag. Hide the yarn following the flower pattern. You can hide it through a few more stitches for extra security. Finally, cut off the excess yarn. This bag comes with a matching scarf. You can tie the scarf according to your personal preference. And with that, your bag is now complete.
Ba-da